So there's been a slew of polls that have come out the last few days that have shown that Kamala Harris is not only in the lead, but this is her race to win. It's Donald Trump losing. I think that's why we have seen so much that he has been so chaotic the past week. He just can't wrap his head around the fact that this thing is slipping away from him, and all of his instincts to attack her race, to go after her intelligence is not working. It's actually just making him worse. And there is now polling that came out that is saying that Donald Trump is even losing support in red states. So more on that in a minute. But first, Financial Times came out today, and they said that Kamala Harris is more trusted than Donald Trump on the U.S. economy. Can you believe that? I can. I mean, it's true. Democrats always fix the economy. Republicans always break it. But this time, voters see what we all know, that Democrats are great for the economy. This is the first time in nearly a year that a Democrat has led. And this is a 7 percentage point increase compared to Biden numbers last month. So Kamala momentum is real, folks. Also, the New York Times came out with a poll yesterday. I'm sure some of you saw it. I'm just going to show you again because it is extraordinary that in the blue wall states, if we win these 3 states, we win the election. Now, this is within the margin of error, but I'd much rather be in the lead than in behind. Of course, polls are a snapshot in time, so please, everyone, do not allow your optimism to turn into an opiate. We still need you to get off the couch and vote. But in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, there is a clear lead of Harris versus Trump. I do believe that this is only going to increase as we get towards the convention and out of it. There's going to be even a bigger bump, and I think that's going to make Trump even more chaotic, more flailing, more racist, and it's only going to help Kamala because the American people are frankly sick of it. And then in Predicted has Kamala Harris the odds of winning. Now, if you don't know what Predicted is a website where you can bet on who you think is going to win an election. I don't endorse gambling, but what I do think this always shows is sentiment for the mood of the country. And so prior to this, I'm going to show you this really interesting graph. So here's what this looked like when it was Trump versus Biden, okay? Biden never cleared, in the last 90 days, Biden never cleared Donald Trump. And after the debate, you can see here, it just collapsed, right? Well, let's switch Biden out. Here's the Harris line, the light blue line. Look at Harris. And then after, this is right where Biden dropped. And look at this. We've now overtaken Trump in the betting market. So there is clear, this is not, so like maybe like one poll here, one poll there. There's a clear momentum shift that has happened in this race. And it's not just in the public polling. So the New York Times had an article that came out that was really about like how Donald Trump is absolutely collapsing as a person. And if you have a chance to read that, I would recommend reading it. I actually will put a GIF link in the description, and if I forget, someone write a comment. But I'm gonna put a GIF link in the description. Okay, just gonna remind myself. And but there was a little quip that no one paid attention to. I posted on my Instagram story. People were very, very surprised by this, so I figured I'd actually share it with all of you here. And that is that others, meaning like other Trump campaign advisors, are more concerned about what they're seeing in private polling. 2 private polls conducted in Ohio recently by Republican pollsters. So these are people who are already trying to create polls that look favorable for them, which Mr. Trump in Ohio, which Mr. Trump carried in 2020 with 53% of the vote, showed him receiving less than 50% of the vote against Harris in the state, according to a person with direct knowledge of that data. So this is terrible for them. This is part of the reason why they're panicking, is that not only are they collapsing in swing states, but there has been a seismic shift in red states too. So my hope is that this is real and that the Harris campaign can take advantage of it. Because if Donald Trump not only has to spend money in states that were competitive, but also has to spend money in traditional. I mean, Ohio used to be a swing state, but what has been traditionally historic the past couple cycles a red state, then he is on shaky ground. And who knows if this is true now and this holds up, who knows what's going to happen in November. We could see a historic margin for Kamala Harris. Polymarket, one of the more conservative betting markets, also has Harris in the lead. And this is new. Prior to this, Predicted had Harris in the lead and Polymarket had her behind, but now she's leading in all betting markets. Nate Silver, who is a numbers guy, he also now shows. Now, he is also very conservative, but he takes an aggregate of all the polls, and he's now showing that Kamala Harris is in the lead. Now, of course, this is all very dynamic, so let's take the good news with a grain of salt. But if Donald Trump is not even pulling 50% in Ohio, which is the state that his vice presidential pick is coming from, then I think we are just really well positioned to really overtake this race, because the next couple of months look good for us media-wise. One, the Trump campaign just got hacked. Let's see if any of those emails come out. Two, we're going to have the Democratic National Convention, which is going to give her a bump in the polls. And then three, my hope would be, I don't know if this is going to happen, but if I were running this ship, I would try to get the Taylor Swift endorsement out between the convention and the debate. Two, the debate happens, and that's just going to, I mean, we all know Trump can't debate. Kamala Harris will destroy him. And I think he will actually implode during that debate. And so then it's like a month and a half until the election. And so there's not a lot of space for this to shift, for the momentum to shift. It turns out running a short election might actually be great. Maybe America should rethink the way we do elections and like running a presidential race for a year and a half. Maybe we just need 100 days. So anyway, this is awesome news, and I'm very, very excited. Again, take it with a grain of salt, but we are in a great position today.
I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?